Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Back then, a lot of people have a question over the DAX, and the difficulty that they're facing with the DAX measure is about understanding the mechanism behind that. So today we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is evaluation context. You can see in the PBX file, I've renamed the file as evaluation context. Evaluation context is simply a DAX measure where it's been evaluated, and when it's been evaluated, actually there's some mechanism and environment happen behind the scene, so you need to be aware of that. So there are two actual evaluation contexts. The first one is the filter context, second one is the row context. So in order to understand why this DAX measure sales amount is calculated as 8,000 for the Asia continent, we need to understand that filter context and also the row context. For the filter context is quite simple. What happened is everything on this page currently as an environment will decide what kind of data set being provided for the calculation. For example, for this 8,000 is not only coming from calculated for the Asian, but also you have filter context come from the slicer because Asian and Europe have been chosen. So that's why is part of the filtering for the table. And also you have filter context come from other visuals. For example, in this table visual, audio has been chosen. That's why this is displayed as 8,000. If we say change this to a cell phone, you can see once I select both audio and the cell phones, that 8,000 become 88,000. If we deselect that one, so that 8,000 actually receiving limitations from the filter context from a slicer, a filter context from other visual. Moreover, it also receive a filter context from the filter pen, which is financial year 2027. If we select this down, we choose a different year. For 2008 financial year, the number increased. So we deselect both. So you can see for this 8,000 to be able to actually doing the calculation, the filter context is on the report setup what kind of conditional limitation it receives from either the slicer or the other visual when you click one of the item, and also you have something from the filter pen. Lastly, you will also be able to receive a filter for the Asia. That's why this 8,000 is only for Asia continent, not for other continent like say Europe. And once the data set has been filtered, for example, the sales table has been filtered to include only Asia and Europe, include audio for the category, include also the financial year for 2027, then it starts to iterate. This is where we come to the row context. You just need to remember that filter context only filter table, row context only iterate table. So once the table has been filtered down to a specific data set, then the row context start to work out to iterate and calculate. For example, once the data set has been filtered down to Asian, include only audio and also for the 2027, that financial year, for each of the row, it will start to iterate and also calculate. For example, in this case, we have sales measure, which is iterate over the sales table. For each row, it will calculate quantity times net price. That's why, for example, if this is the first row, you're going to use it quantity times net price to get a value and going to the other row and the other row and the other row until it finish. Once it finish all, it will sum everything together as this 8,000 and put into this cell. So you need to understand that anything with X is an iterate function. Iterate function will iterate over the table during the session. That's why over here, sales quantity is not the whole column of the quantity from sales table. Rather, it's referring to a row where it calculates. Let's repeat that again. Row context only iterate table, filter context only filter table. They don't happen at the same time, but they do work together to be able to calculate the value that we are seeing here, which is 8,000. So if you want to learn more about evaluation context, you can go to my blog over here, and then it's an Obsidian blog where I record all my data skills on hard and soft skills. In particular, I have a page which is simply explain what is the evaluation context for the Power BI DAX. So you can see what and why, and also we have some image to demonstrate that. You can see over here, this 8,000 is actually receiving all the filter context from all the other visuals, slicers and filter, and also current Asian that continent from the current visual. Once that is been selected, you have a filtered data set to be able to work on the row context, which is quantity times the net price. So this simple visual will help you to gain more knowledge about evaluation context. That's today's video. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys in the next